when it comes to anybody who wants to speak, since we have a much more robust chat system here, if you'll just chat in the channel, I'll get to you as soon as I can. I'll keep track of who wants to speak next. Also, unless I miss my guess, I'm assuming that our council members and our tech support and our division leaders and so on are all going to have their closed session as normal in TeamSpeak after this meeting, as we don't want to go to all the trouble of setting up access for a closed channel here and this and any other. So we'll have our closed meeting in TeamSpeak as usual. Other than that, I will go ahead and start with our agenda. Sky Ranger was interested in creating a new CC Discord bot and wanted to mention that to people. And honestly, my opinion, just throwing it out there, is anybody can do anything for CC they want to do anytime they want to do it. Whether or not we'll use it, that's kind of a different story. So anybody have any thoughts on Sky Ranger making a bot for our CC Discord, considering we already have one, for example?
I would like a music bot kind of deal where we can request songs.
Oh, like we had in TeamSpeak, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So do we already have a list of what all we want this bot to do, or is that what we're trying to discuss right now?
No, he was just asking for permission to create one, and honestly, we already have a CC bot that's sort of in hiatus right now.
Yeah, I thought so.
And again, folks, let's keep this clean. So if we want to do more than just have conversational questions, let's use the chat as much as we can. But it kind of depends. I mean, Discord bots are a little bit different from TeamSpeak bots in the sense that Discord bots can automate a lot of tasks in Discord that TeamSpeak simply doesn't have the ability to do.
I have one other thing to say.
Go ahead.
Could we get a bot to okay, say if some of us are streaming, I could tell us the bot would say this person is streaming, does I come watch or whatever. Could we get one of those bots? Because I know me and football stream, so I was thinking maybe we could get a bot that says, hey, this person's streaming at this time right now, come and watch.
I could see that working. We'd probably have to give it its own permissions and such, but that's not a problem at all.
All right, folks. Again, please, if you would, don't just chat. I mean, use the text chat to let us know you want to speak. Global, what do you have?
Yeah, before this gets into a what we're going to do for Discord, this is a one-off thing tonight, and we probably could have canceled it. We had a vote, and it was I'd have to go look it up real quick, but there was quite a good margin that we were going to stay with TeamSpeak. So in all actuality, we probably should have just canceled this. So I don't know, how much of this Discord discussion we should really just keep on. I mean, if somebody wants to make stuff, they can, I guess, talk to somebody else. But as far as I'm concerned, talking about it in this meeting is probably a waste of time, as far as anything, because I don't see us going to Discord anytime soon. Well, at some point we may, and it might be nice to have some working items in here. I would rather see, a few people, maybe I think Cappy Man and Dragonfire were working on things in here, so maybe talk with them and run that stuff by them. So, not trying to be a killjoy, but if we're just going to talk Discord tonight in here, we might as well just shut this down now. So, because it got blowed out of the water on the vote members section. So.
Right. I think I'll say this another way, folks. This meeting is not Discord specific in the sense that if you want to talk in Discord about what we can do for Discord and stuff, you can continue that discussion after this meeting. This meeting is a CC meeting that normally would take place in TeamSpeak, but we promised we'd hold one here. So we'll talk about Discord stuff. There's the forums, there's Discord itself. You guys can talk about that anytime you want. anything you want to bring to us, we can talk about at another time. That's basically what we're saying. So let's not go too specific on Discord stuff. So that prompts me to go ahead and ask, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about that has anything to do with Discord before we move on? Because we don't want to talk about anything Discord related more than necessary. Alrighty. Just waiting on Humpus here. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Elvis's point. Elvis would like a regular report on our divisions and how they're doing, keeping the membership informed on divisions might create interest in folks for games they see that are doing well. Like, for example, some people might not play PUBG, but if they know that PUBG is doing really well and there's 15 people playing every night, they might want to find out why. So as Elvis says, it's a way of keeping people in the loop on what's going on in the community. And so he'd like to see DLs do like regular reports on their participation levels and things like that. I don't think this is a negative idea whatsoever. I think this is a way for division leaders to keep interest in things going if they'd like. I'm sure we're going to get some opinions on this, but anybody have anything to say about this?
So weekly reports by the division leaders on
Negative. No, he said like maybe once every 3 months or something. Basically, just a report on how things are going. My thing would not be reports that are posted. My thing would be like, every other so many meetings, maybe we would have a division leader say, "Hey, just wanted to fill you guys in on how such and such is doing." But as you're saying, Kratos is saying, we could do it as a newsletter type thing. We could do it as like a blog post. We could put these on division pages. That's what they're for. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this. See, that's what we're asking is these kind of questions. So anybody that has any thoughts on this, you can chime in. This is the power of Discord, by the way, for people that don't realize, is the chat. Everybody can talk constantly in the chat. I mean, you can do this in TeamSpeak too, but it's a lot more up in your face. So please say anything you have on your mind. See, this is kind of what I was afraid of, was that people would get a little specific. I think I'm not sure Elvis was actually asking for like observable metrics and infographics and spreadsheets. I think he was saying, every once in a while have a division leader say, our game nights are going well, when are we going to have our next tournament, that kind of thing. Go for it, Elvis.
So essentially, the basic thing is that during the closed meetings when I was DL, the council would ask, "What do you guys need, for DLs?" And essentially, what I would do, I take it upon myself, is to express the highs, the lows, the mids of the current state of the community with the game, so more personal things. And then I would also talk about the state of the game in terms of population, upcoming updates, and such and so forth. So in other words, it's my game. I invest the time to do the research to say, okay, so these features are changing, those features are not changing, on and on and on. And so that I would tell the council, like, hey, this specific update is going to possibly increase the population of the game. So that's an example of one way DLs could actually get on the ball and like say, hey, did you guys know, da 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 da? Oh, and the sale, da 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 da. And then people are like, oh, that's cool. So a new update and a sale and yeah. And what that does is that it would tell the council that, hey, this game is actually growing and that it's actually booming. So stuff like that could be said more publicly on like in my post 3 or 6 months. Now that can be changed based on if the game is actually surviving or not. Because if the game is kind of dead, like it's not even really all there, like that the population is dying, then yeah, I mean, at that point I think you should do it more frequently, like maybe every month, to get more people in. And even at that point, if it's still dying, then obviously at that point probably means that it's time to pull the plug. And I don't think 3 or 6 months is asking too much of DLs. If it was like every 2 weeks, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that as an issue. And I'm not talking about, like Neo said, pie charts and analytics. No. Just whatever the DL observes. So if the DL observes that people are getting too hot, like hostile, then maybe it's time to like talk about how it cannot be so hostile. So things like that. And that's essentially what it is. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't want this to be like a business report. It's essentially just so that the community knows that the DLs are on the job and that there's interaction with members and that everybody's involved with the process of making that game fun and grow. So when the DLs
joined
are
your
like,
channel.
whatever update, yeah.
Asedin left your
then
channel.
people are like, oh yeah, great. Thanks for keeping me in the loop. That kind of stuff. So that's what it is. It's not something overly dramatic or crazy or anything like that.
Just to expand on what Elvis is saying, I say this a lot, and I want to say it again. What his idea is basically what we ask for all the time. As a person who is a division leader or a member who likes putting together events, anything like that, any kind of leader in the community, any member in the community, what we ask for is for people to be on fire for things, and we ask you for your suggestions, and we ask you for your opinions. We ask people to participate and be involved. All Elvis is saying is, in order to keep people on fire, you have to keep the fire lit. So maybe division leaders could keep divisions moving and keep more interest in them if occasionally they just told people how things are going and, kept people interested. And the fact that Elvis is making this suggestion is just going to show you how, we could spend 15 minutes on this just because somebody made the suggestion. Oh yeah, I understand that, Elvis. Basically, I was expanding on this just to say that, we always ask for people to get involved, and you don't have to be involved. But if you want to be involved, maybe people will be more involved if they saw people stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, here's how things are going. Here's where things are. Precisely. When somebody tells you what's going on, it's a lot better than some forum post telling you what's going on. And yeah, global football and Grizz do pretty well. I think posting about it just doesn't have the same ring. And plus, I mean, sometimes our council members devolve into
joined your
discussions
channel.
that just really don't matter. Like,
Reason
talking about
number
stuff
one why I
that's
hate
kind of
Discord.
just off the top of somebody's head. Wouldn't it be better if sometimes in our meetings we
No, I
had
haven't. It doesn't
structured
work.
moments where we say, hey, this is what's going on specifically.
Which is
for
the same
Rocket
thing that
League, for
happened
example.
last time I tried Discord.
And then also to help
Well,
advertise the game at the meetings, because I mean, I haven't been every meeting in 2017, but the little I've seen is that there isn't like this grandiose advertising, even though when there's like 30 people in the channel.
well, it's
I don't
open
see
Discord,
this
but I'm not connected
desire to be
CCG.
like, hey guys, just letting you know, we
Oh,
play
no, I am.
PUBG and we play Rocket League and yeah, and on and on. And then it's like, oh, I'm new. You guys play PUBG? And then, that kind of thing.
Well, not only that, I think it also
Did I
would
already
help
miss the
us
meeting?
occasionally have new games come out of the woodwork. For example, one of our free game nights, we played Black Squad, and there were a ton of people that really enjoyed playing Black Squad,
Huh?
but it's not a division, and hardly anybody plays it. Why? Probably because most people in the community have never heard of it.
Yeah.
The fact that we
Well,
played
yeah,
it at
but
all is the
nobody's
only
talking.
reason that some people have even heard of the game and like the game.
Or it might be because
Just for example.
Again, does not need to be anything
does I'm
complicated.
in
I mean, I
CCG.
made it pretty clear. At least I hope I did that. It's not like some business.
Rushnovsky
because
left your channel.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think again, this is just one of those things where, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're always asking people what they want to
I
talk
was
about at the
adjusting
meetings,
my
and a lot of times we don't have a whole lot of
settings.
suggestions about what we should talk about at the meeting. So it ends up we end up sort of just kind of playing it by ear at the meeting. Wouldn't
There's
it be
two of
cool
them.
on those meetings when we had a division leader step up and say, "Hey, by the way, you know, did you know that there was
Yep.
an
Now I
update
hear
coming
'em,
to our
but
game,
I'm-
and this is what's going to change,"
But
and
I'm
so on
not.
and so forth.
But I'm not allowed to speak. Okay, thanks.
Anybody have anything specific to Elvis' suggestion that they would like to add?
Maybe a Here's the Storm game night, like switch off. Like people will play like 1 or 2 rounds and then switch off for other clan members, or not clan members but members to play.
Well, Sean, weren't you pushing another game like at the last meeting that you'd like people to play?
Oh, Counter Strike? Yeah. I mean, if anybody
Yeah.
wanted to play, but
So it'd be the same thing. It'd be like any game that you'd like to get people interested in or have people play. Just you know, drum up interest. That's what we're saying. You know, get people involved.
Another game that I've been playing a lot that I don't know if most of you would like, but there's a game called Deceit on Steam. It's free. It's like a survival game. I don't know if anybody would like to play it. Like, you know, if any of the members would like to switch off and play it with me, if that's cool.
Right. So basically what I'm getting at, Sean, is if you want people to do that, drum up interest in it. And the best way to do that is in the forums or any night on TeamSpeak. Actually, ask people if they play a game with you or whatever.
Right.
We're not just gonna wholeheartedly just go ahead and say, oh yeah, let's definitely throw together a game night for
I got you.
for a particular game. You can make a game night anytime you want. You can say, I am going to host a Heroes of the Storm game night. This is how it's going to work. People are going to trade off in this amount of time, and so on and so forth. Put it on the forums. Invite people to it. We'd love to help. We'll make graphics, and we'll post it on Facebook and Steam, everywhere you want. And we'll do that. But, I mean, any game you want. Anybody in the community can do that. Does not matter who they are. And if you want any more information on like how we can help you and stuff, just we can talk about that.
I got you.
We actually look for that. That's exactly what I was saying a few minutes ago. Is that we want people to participate. We want people to come up with ideas. Personally, I kind of wish we still had a CS:GO gun game server because I didn't like CS:GO very much, but gun game was still kind of fun. But we don't. So anytime anybody wants to play some CS:GO gun game, let me know and maybe we'll go and do it. A really good example is that we have somebody who's been trying to put together L4D2 game nights again. Was that Thursdays? Oh, that was a couple of Saturday nights. Did it die already?
Was it Hunter who was hosting it? He said that he did not have a PC, so we had to call it off for that time being.
Oh. Sorry, old man memory. But the point being that anybody that wants to bring a great game like that back is more than welcome to. The other night I was streaming a game that I hadn't played in quite a while that came out in 2010. So, I mean, it just depends on, if you have a thing for the game and you're not sure other people do, get them involved, ask them if they want to have a game night. We're not stopping anybody, and in fact, we'd love to help anybody that wants to do that.
There is another game like CS:GO, but it's called how was it? Oh, come back to me. I'm trying to think of it.
Again, this is something that you can keep on the forums, or you can put in text in the channel here. We're going to go ahead and move on from the subject if nobody else has anything to add to it. Alrighty, I've kind of run through the agenda already. Does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up or talk about this evening in our community?
This is just a bit of a question, but I know that over the years we've had a bunch of things pop in and out of our servers. I think at one point we had Terraria. As mentioned previously, we had Counter-Strike stuff. Do we have a list somewhere of what is still active and what isn't?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
There might be a Terraria server still. You'd have to ask Winged. They were using it, but I don't know if it's still up or not.
It might be horribly out of date at this point.
I mean, a list might actually be a pretty reasonable idea in the future, because there are things that we have that people may not even realize we have. For example, there's a really great collaborative drawing program on the internet called Drawpile, and CC has a server. What Drawpile would allow you to get on to the Drawpile server using your program at the same time that Ketsa does, and you can draw together.
I was thinking, like, I don't know if anybody else in here plays Grand Theft Auto, but I had kind of had a good idea if anybody was up for it, but I'll put it on the forums.
Again, or you can mention it in text in this channel.
Oh, really? Okay, I can do that.
I'm not sure what's wrong, but GoMan, your mic is just destroyed.
Still?
From my angle, yes. All right. Anybody have anything else to add to this particular topic? But I like the effort, Cappy. We do need to have something that's listed that shows all the different stuff that we do. Because I mean, if a person came in for just found the forums from Google, a lot of times you'll notice they'll list the games that they play, and a lot of times they aren't always games that we play, or they play games that maybe we haven't played in a little while, or that we're talking about playing. It'd be kind of nice if a new member could come on and they could immediately say, oh, such and such is a game they play. Oh, they have a server for Drawpile. They have this, they have that. Oh, look, they have Bible studies. Anybody else have anything else to add that is not in text? Does anybody have any other open meeting business they'd like to throw out there tonight?
Yeah.
I've had a request from somebody. Just a second. I'm going to throw out a link here. Mouse is taking a class, and he's got a survey that talks about PC peripherals, gaming, that kind of stuff. And I've taken a quick look at it, and it looks pretty interesting. if you'd be interested in helping him by taking his quick survey, that's the link.
And this
Uh,
is, what's this for?
this would basically just help Mouse with the class that he's taken.
Ah, I got you.
But you know, the more answers he can get on his survey, the better he can build up the answers, and he can write a report from them. So wait a second now. Mouse, you're doing a survey to help improve mouse design and function. Describes your life. Anyway, I wanted to throw that one out. That was specifically for Mouse. So anybody that wants to hit that link, that'd be great for him. Anybody else have anything they'd like to mention this meeting or talk about? Anything at all? This is the meeting coming to a close if you have nothing to say, and we'll move to a closed discussion on TeamSpeak. So anybody, you can talk about anything. You can ask any question. You can say, hey, I don't like blank. Hey, let's change that. Let's change this. Anybody at all?
I do kind of miss our lack of newsletter. I actually did enjoy writing for that back when, and I'm not exactly certain. I'm a little forgetful as to what all brought that down back when, but there's just that.
That would be lack of participation,
Okay.
which incidentally is what took down our stream team. We had one guy, besides myself, who was streaming regularly, who has he's like about to get married, and his career and all that stuff has changed, so he can't stream regularly. So we decommissioned our stream team like 2-3 months ago.
Could we like start up a new stream team? Is that possible?
I mean, the forums are still there.
Well, I mean, anybody can stream anytime they want on their own account. The difference is between doing your own account and doing CC's account is if you're going to do CC's account, we're going to hold you to a schedule, and we're going to ask for certain things from you, you know, that to represent CC, and nobody wanted to do it like regular days a week. So the problem with streaming is there are people who are dedicated to it, who want to do it all the time. And then there's people who are like, oh, let's do it. And if they don't have watchers or followers within like a week, they get disinterested really fast. And we want people who are interested. We don't want people who are like, oh, this is too much trouble for me.
Like, what kind of schedule are we talking?
Yeah, so this is one of those things that a newsletter, the stream team, any of that stuff, anything that anybody wants to be involved in, there's no lack of ways you can be involved in CC. The thing is, if you're going to say you're going to do something, please stick to what you say. The Bible tells us, let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Let's stick to that.
Like, when you say like schedule, like, are we have to be on a schedule, or?
What I'm saying is, if we rebuild the stream team and you say you're always going to stream every single night of the week at 7 p.m., you need to be streaming every single night of the week at 7 p.m.
Till like how long? Like to whenever?
It doesn't matter what you say you're going to do. What matters is that you do what you say you're going to do.
Okay.
We had people who were like, oh, I'll stream this week, and then we wouldn't hear from them again. Well, so, you know, I think this is a great idea. Let's stream this. And then we'd never hear from them again.
I mean, like, would that be like we wouldn't get in trouble for advertising? Would that be advertising though? I mean,
Well, I mean, if you have any other questions, Sean, you can send a PM to Neo or to one of the other council members, and we can get you all the information you need.
I got you.
Yeah, at this time, we're kind of in last call. Anybody have anything else specific they would like to discuss at all? And I would love to talk more about the newsletter and stuff in a forum post. So, I mean, I loved your articles and stuff. So, I'd actually like to see more creativity from people. I wouldn't mind having a portion of a newsletter that'd be like a short story or something. I used to make like larger than one-page newsletters for the community, and people liked them. So.
Switch to closed meeting.
Yeah, can somebody member Mouse up? Can you prove who you are, Mouse? Can you tell us something only Mouse would know?
Switch to the Hangout channel.
Don't underestimate the mouse.
Alrighty, well, okay, last call. Literally interrupt me if you have something you want to bring up. Anyone at all. If you do not, the meeting is ending. This is your last chance. 5, 4, no pressure, Bob. 3,